Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been quite a long time, I know, but I've finally got time to spend a full day on the layout, and I thought I'd basically bring you along with me. I've got quite a lot I want to do, so yeah, let's get started. So as you can see out on the layout at the moment, we've got 3 of the Class 68s from Dapple, both of the ScotRail ones and one DRS one. I absolutely love those, so they sort of stay out on the layout quite a lot. I'll come back to the H class in a minute. We've also got the Real Track 156 ScotRail again. For those of you who are new to the channel or haven't seen a video in a while, I am very sort of northeast Scotland orientated, so that's why there's a lot of ScotRail stuff on at the moment. And I've got these LNER teak coaches still. These are the cheaper ones. They just came in a Flying Scotsman set that I had. So I think I might keep them out. Essentially what I'm looking to do today is I need to basically do a lot more photography. I'm running out of photos for my social media, so if you don't follow me on there, be sure to check me out on there. It's just from the Footplate on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. So photo shoot for those social media accounts. I've got a review to do, which is of this, which is of the Hornby, the new H class that came out recently. This is the Collectors Club edition and is identical to the one that you see at the Bluebell Railway. So I'll just give you a little closer look here. So yeah, I got to do a review on this, get the photos done, but there's quite a few engines and stuff that I want to get out on the layout, so I think I'm going to get the Virgin HST, the NRM 40 edition out. That normally goes on that second line in, so I might have to move those LNER coaches, get that out, and I'm thinking of getting the Flying Scotsman out as well. That's also the Locomotion Models edition with the gloss finish on and the support coach. So I think that is it for the moment. I might get some more stuff out, but yeah, hopefully this should be interesting for you, just to see a little bit of more behind the scenes of what goes into creating all the content and stuff. Admittedly, more recently it's just been photo based and on Instagram, Twitter, but I'm obviously looking to try and maintain my presence on YouTube as well, so I thought this would be helpful. And yeah, let's get into it. So I've got everything out now that I need for my shoot. Just for those who are interested, I try and use a tripod for as many of the shots as I can, just because the light isn't great up here, so you normally have to have quite a long shutter speed, and when you have that, you really want to try and mount it on a tripod, just to make sure all the photos are crisp. Got 2 lenses. Obviously the other one is on the camera currently at the moment, but I've got a macro lens here, so for those of you who know or have seen the stuff I have on my social media, I like to have very sort of up close similar shots to this, where there's lots of depth of field in the background, but you still want to try and get as much detail on the engine as possible. And for most of those shots, that's where I use this lens. So it's a 50mm macro. This is an 85mm f1.8. So if I'm trying to do the same sort of thing, but at the other end of the layout, across this space where I need a bit more reach, that's where I'll use that lens. So yeah, those are the camera stuff. The camera that I'm using, I'll show you in a second because I'm obviously holding it, but I do also have the Canon up here, which you will have seen in that short time lapse before this, but obviously the part that everyone's interested in is all of this. So obviously I'm hand holding this at the moment, so sorry if there's any shake, but these are all the coaches. These are the old release, well, from a few years ago, when Hornby brought out the Virgin HST set. I obviously opted for the NRM 40 edition, just because I think it's really cool. I like all the locomotion stuff, as you can see. But I'm very tempted to try and get one of the new LNER sets as well, and the Azuma, to try and match all of this together. But I'm definitely not getting rid of this or changing it to LNER. I just like it the way it is, really. So yeah, we've obviously got NRM 40 here, very nice packaging here. So that is going to be adjoined by all these coaches. Now, one thing I've been curious about is I don't think on these coaches there's anywhere that actually says LNER on these, or well, Virgin, I guess, on the actual coaches. So obviously I'm quite pressed for space here, so if I was wanting to, I would love to have 2 or 3 full sets of these on the layout at the same time, but realistically I don't know if that's going to be possible. So I could always get the new LNER power cards, which I think are actually available now, and just use these coaches. And I don't think anyone would be able to tell the difference. At the time, however, you could only get these 5. Let me just stand up a little bit. So you've got the TGS here, you've got the buffet here, first class down beneath that, and then the 2 just standard coaches. Whereas I think now you can get a lot more of a varied selection, or a lot more variants like they used to in like 2005, 2006, where they would bring out loads of different versions of the same coach, so you could have a few different rakes or have a really long one, without having to buy 2 of the same numbered coach, which I'm definitely a fan of Hornby. I really appreciate that, because it's just a bit of an OCD thing, really. I like having separately numbered coaches and not really having the same ones multiplied in the same rake. And here is another one of my favourite engines, or favourite sort of train packs. I think this was actually the first purchase I got from Locomotion, to be honest, and it certainly didn't disappoint. So it's the Flying Scotsman in the gloss Brunswick green livery, and it came with the support coach as well. So a very cool train pack. And when I was digging these out, I did see, obviously I've got the Mallard and the dynamometer car, so I'm actually tempted to maybe get that out as well and have a photo shoot of the two together, really, with their respective coaches. But from having a little think, I'm tempted to maybe just take these teak coaches off and have the Flying Scotsman running as if it was travelling somewhere with its support coach, just the two items rather than the whole train, because like I said earlier, this set will be going on that main middle line. So yeah, let's get all these out of the boxes, get them on the layout, and start taking some photos, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Right, so I think that's all the photography done. I didn't take the mallard out in the end, but I might do that later. But anyway, I thought I would turn this around and show you what I've got out. So we've got out the Flying Scotsman down here, looking amazing as always. NRM40 here. You could probably maybe briefly see what I'm doing with the camera, but just trying to do some individual shots and some combination shots as well. So this is the camera I'm using. I'm not sure if I've shown this before, but this is a Sony a7R III. So very high quality images coming out of there, 42 megapixel. I don't advise spending the amount of money just on this, just for railway photography, but it's what I do for employment. So I'm very into photography, and well, if you're interested in looking at any of my stuff outside of railway stuff, be sure to check that out. My website is jaredbarnesphoto.com. I'll have it come up on the screen. So yeah, I'm lucky enough to have this camera set up, and I get to use it for my layout obviously as well. But I think the look of the layout with the colour, it definitely brings more colour back having the Virgin stuff out, and I think you can't go wrong really with having a Flying Scotsman out on the layout either. So very pleased with how the photos look in camera. I still need to go and edit them all now, but I'm pretty certain they should turn out well. Tried something a little bit different with a few detailed shots as well with the Flying Scotsman, so interested to see how they'll turn out. But as you can see on the layout, there's loads of snow still about it. I really need to clean that up, just because I've done it a little bit on the front here, but not so much on the back. So now the photography of these two are finished, I now need to move on to the H-class. So the typical thing that I do when I'm doing a review video is a little bit of an unboxing, show you what's all comes in the box, which I have done here. Just standard, you know, Hornby box here. Detailed shots of the engine itself, a little bit of B-roll, talking you through all the details on it, and then ended up with a running session. So annoyingly, I think I'm going to have to take some of this off now to ensure that I can actually do the running bit, because if you haven't already known, I've got quite a lot of issues with the track on my layout. Everything looks good, obviously, albeit some of it isn't finished, but the track is very old and some of it is just very temperamental now. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma as to what to do, because I think it looks, you know, everything looks very good, and I don't really want to tear everything up just to redo it, especially as I might be trying to start just building a brand new layout from scratch. So I think I might just wait until then before I do anything really. So yeah, I hope you did sort of enjoy that and just a little insight into what I do. I guess you might, if you follow me on social media, see all these photos being put up, and you might wonder how they're sort of done and what goes into them. So this is sort of a typical day. If I've got the full day to do stuff on the layout, I normally try and get as much content filmed and photographed as possible, but it just ends up taking so much longer than you sort of think really and you expect. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out the P-class, why do I keep saying that, H-class review next week. Cheers.